Hi guys. All right, look. Normally I do the big, we're here intro, but we're actually just chatting in the green room real quick, and I'm just going to talk about this because as you can see, let's see, where's my button go. All right, hi guys, welcome. Now, as you guys know, our friend Neil, aka Peyton. Hi Neil. Give us a wave.
Hi.
It's Neil's birthday tomorrow. How cool is that? Happy birthday, Neil! Yay! And it is technically tomorrow, even though it is the 11th here for me and Matt. Technically speaking, by that logic, he would have been born on the 12th here. So, I mean, technically it's still tomorrow, like they're relatively speaking. But anyway, still nonetheless, happy birthday to our dear friend Neil. Now, we've known Neil for a very long time. Neil's been one of my early Patreons. Early as the Starfinder games that I was running, back when I was only running one of these games a week instead of like 4 or 5 or however many fuck I'm running right now. And I was saying recently, a lot of people ask me, hey, Dag, what is it you do when you're managing a player like, Neil, where, chaos ensues and, you just lose the reins and lose control? And I say, well, it's actually kind of a unique situation because here's the thing, right? Generally speaking, when someone is a chaotic player, and I'm going to call all the chaotic players out here. When someone's a chaotic player, it is usually because they do not have a good grasp of their character and immediately solve any and all problems by what would my character do, very quickly becoming, how would my character, react based on a concept of an alignment or a stereotype or thing. So if my character's a rogue, what can I steal? If my character's a barbarian, what can I hit? It's a pre-built formula that doesn't function in a society because that's not how people think. People exist, people make decisions on a multitude of different facets other than how violent they should or should not be. Now, Neil lacks that basic fundamental, which makes what he does not chaotic. Not chaotic at all. In fact, quite intelligent. He thinks about a lot of these things that go into all the stuff that happens. The thing that has caught me off guard each and every time, because there is no way to prepare for it, is the fact that Neil, while being very, very insightful and intelligent and aware of his surroundings, will always, without doubt, miss something. Something vital, something crucial, something akin to a linchpin in the entire thing that he is coming up with, without which would be absolutely brilliant. I'm talking next level version of gameplay here. And yet, with that one pin out of place, the whole thing collapses. So no, you will never have to deal with a Neil character because the odds of a second one of these things existing just annoys me. I don't like it, right? But I have, at the very least, I have a certificate on my drawer that says I am one of the best game masters in the world, and I attribute it to the fact that I have to deal with shit like this, right? Because it challenges me as a DM, it challenges me as a creator, as an improv artist, and I think that for you guys as DMs, you should embrace stuff like that. Don't view these things as challenges or problems that need to be solved. View them as ways to improve yourself, your skills, your abilities, your GMing style, and push forward. Like Neil, you have fun with our games, right?
Of course I do.
And you've failed more times than I think some people have tried this stuff.
Of course I do.
And would you say it swings like maybe it's just your dice? You have bad dice. Is that why this is all happening?
This is because of me.
Yeah. So, there's no helping it. But you know what? I will give credit where credit's due. This week, Neil's actually done some pretty fucking cool stuff, with his characters. There's been so many situations this week where Neil's played and Neil's just fucking killed it. So I want to just take a moment to acknowledge and to say to you as your GM, right? You've done so fucking good this week. There's a part of me that's concerned that you have found that pin and you're slowly putting it into place, and I'm not going to see all the random bullshit happening anymore. I'm worried about it.
Forging that pin in the back just with the giant hammer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm worried about it. It might happen. What happens?
Just make it a little too big. It won't fit in the hole.
That'd probably be right. Anyway, I wanted to take that moment because, again, it is Neil's birthday, and I wanted to tell him how much I appreciate him, how much, Neil, you make me a better DM. You make me a more proficient DM, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate how you... I appreciate how well you take the multitude of whatever we do together. You take it
Aw.
you take it with a smile, you take it on good spirit. You are the epitome of a player people should have at the table, no matter what.
I gotta thank you too. You make me a better player too. So
Please don't say that, because like
okay, that's
I don't
true.
I don't need people to go, oh, this is the kind of player Michael like makes at his table.
That's
Oh,
true.
wow.
Okay, fine. Fuck you.
All right, I'm done. We're done with all the random bullshit. All right. Let's speed through our intro. Guys, my name's Mike. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. Welcome to Pathfinder 7 Dooms of Sandpoint. We have sponsors. Well, who are our sponsors? We have Fantasy Grounds for our VTTs. We have Sirenscape for the beautiful sounds. And we have Hero Forge. Look at this handsome devil. Fucking Hobgoblin Orlando Bloom. We have Hero Forge. We have Hero Forge for characters. So yeah, go check out all of our sponsors. They're really, really cool and amazing. We have an awesome group of Patreons, in addition to Neil, who are here to play with us and have a bit of fun. We have Cinderiel, the cleric of Saren Ray, a local to the town of Sandpoint, who was caught in the Great Fire many, many moons ago, but has dedicated themselves to the god of fire, healing, and second chances, and has served as a spiritual beacon within the town of Sandpoint as an apprentice to Father Xantus, the current head of the Temple of Sandpoint, though that may not be the case for very long, as he is currently being challenged for that position by a few individuals. This character is played by our dear friend Scully.
Hello.
Then, of course, we have playing the role of Westonson, a former guard from the city of Magnimar, who has come to live a slightly more quieter, slow-paced life after having turned to the bottle after one too many dark incidences that transpired in his past. Westonson just kind of lazed about in the city until he found his true purpose among the allies he has recently found, putting down the bottle and now turning his attention back to being the protector and champion he knows himself to be. Armed with his musket axe, he is a stalwart defender of our heroes here in this adventure. This character played by John, aka Avarian CA.
Hello.
Then there's Titus. He's not here. Titus is played by Sean. He's an Azarketi champion. I will tell you more when he's here, but he's not, so there's no point. Then, of course, we have a recent addition to the group. We have Maro, the Dwarven Oracle? Cleric.
Priest,
Priest?
I guess.
What class are you?
I'm a rogue with a cleric dedication.
Cleric. You're a cleric, then. Still cleric. Yeah, anyway. Dwarven cleric of Pharasma, the goddess of death. Recently, one of the priests who have arrived in this town of Sandpoint, also investigating claims that the town's priest partook in necromancy, something that the Pharasmans do not take too kindly to. There was some truth to it, but, Maru is now just sticking around just to make sure there isn't any deeper ties of undeath here in the town. Then, of course, we have Peyton, local what was I saying? Maru is played by our dear friend OG Lava Kitten. We were talking, so I kind of got lost. But yeah, OG Lava Kitten playing Maru. Peyton, local town guy. He is... He had a young, violent upbringing, and as an orphan, found his place in the town very hard to find, doing odd and end jobs, and eventually finding his way to the hags something. Jeez, what was it called?
Hagfish.
The hagfish, yeah. The hagfish to work as a bartender before he was inevitably fired for adventuring. Peyton now makes his way with his newfound friends and found family in order to try and protect the town that he grew up in, as well as potentially the woman he loves, maybe. Who knows? At least he's now married to her!
Yeah, he's at least in trouble with her now.
Oh, sorry, engaged. Engaged, not married. The ceremony.
No, the ring's on. The ring can't come off.
Yeah. No, but that's still an engagement ring, right?
The ring is on both of them.
Ring to be the wedding ring.
No, the ring's on both of them.
They're both wearing rings, so it kind of looks very wedding ring-ish.
Yeah.
No, a guy can have an engagement ring.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if anyone's gonna buy that.
And then
Yeah,
never get married.
I don't think that flies,
Get
man.
married and never
But
get married.
but yes, for those of you who want to know, yes, Peyton's ingénu perished potentially, and he was offered a deal by a entity of puckish nature, given a ring to save her life, and it put the ring on the ring finger of this person, and now they're married, and there's a whole other thing happening there. Anyway, and last but not least, and that is played by our dear friend Neil from Immersion Diversion. And lastly, we have Matt from All Things Fantasy, who plays the role of Navander, a stalwart ranger and an expert in all things involving the wilds around the Varisian frontier, married to the beautiful and radiant ranger Shalelu, who unfortunately fell victim to the machinations of a bugbear and lost a great portion of her memories, including the ones of their married life. Now, in order to heal and to get better, she is on a quest to Fort Rannoch, and in the meantime, Navander is holding the fort in her stead here in Sandpoint. Though he has his own desires to live a peaceful, simple life devoid of goblins, unfortunately, the goblins have other plans, as very recently and currently, goblins are trying to evict Navander from his home, led by this individual here named Wulfric, which of course we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, there we go. We are so far behind, I'm just going to do this super quick. Guys, audience, you're amazing. Thank you for being here. We have donations. There they are. They're a list. $5, hero points and jinx points. Very, very useful. Advantage rolls, things like that. $10, we have 2 decks in front of me. We have plot twists, and we have heroic actions. You can get those for the players of your choice. And then for $20, we have the Nat 20. $50, we have a boss buff. We have a magic item, or we have a draw from the Harrow deck. And lastly, secret menu item. Secret menu item for today will be Navander gets his house back. No, that'd be so mean. Could you imagine?
Get the new floor.
Yeah, no. That's it. Okay. Let's see. $100. What do I have for that one? Yes. The demon, the arson demon. There is a giant a demon of arson below the Temple of Sandpoint. It is currently housed in a sort of a seal. $100 secret menu item. That seal is going to break, and we are going to start the second Great Fire of Sandpoint.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. What is your contribution as the donator? Well, not only do you begin this fire, but you will also give me a series of locations that you would like to be the focus of me as a DM creating encounters for our characters to engage in. So if you say want the temple to be on fire, great. I will create a scenario for the temple specifically for our heroes to engage in. If you say it should be the blacksmith, we'll go for that. If you say it's Navander's house, we'll go for that. You know, wherever it is in the town that you would like me to focus that attention on, that $100 will not only go towards starting the fire, but also what areas are our points of focus. Okay, cool, done. All right, guys, without any further ado, we don't have any donations. Did I miss? Nope, cool, sweet, fantastic. All right, we're going to go live in... Oh, hey, Metal Sand, what's up? Oh, yeah, fair enough. First thing says here is I don't want to disturb you. Ha, too late. Anyway, that's cool. Let's go with... What's a good soundtrack here? Negotiation. All right. How's this sound? Nope, that's not it. Let's try that again. Gonna give me something here? I mean, that's cool, but no thank you. Let me try that one more time. I miss the launcher that's not in Fantasy Grounds, because I can actually browse properly. Whereas this is, like, hard to, because it's all text. Yeah, okay, this will work. Alright, so. When last we left our heroes, they were in Navander's home. A group of goblins have taken over Navander's house in his absence. In doing so, they've turned it into a nightclub, or an embassy, for the goblin people within the town of Sandpoint. Navander, enraged, broke into the kitchen and attacked a number of the staff in the company of the rest of the group, who joined in. Amidst the battle, a hobgoblin by the name of... what was his name? Wolfleck. Arrived in order to parley, I guess, with the group, and the goblin in charge. What was the goblin in charge's name? Does anyone remember?
Once again,
Stu?
Stu,
The
that's
one
right. His name
who
was
started
Stu.
the party? Yeah, Stu.
Yeah, his name was Stu. 'Cause he made stew.
Stoo. Stew.
So, negotiations with Stu have begun. Needing a place to obviously stay, the goblins have decided Navander's house is, of course, an adequate place. It started relatively harmlessly, in the case of Stu finding the place and helping the people who had helped the goblins. But then when Navander didn't come back for a few days after exploring in the pit, as the group has been doing so, Stu kind of made himself a little too comfortable, and now it is a safe haven for goblins everywhere. Wolfleck has made an offer. Abandon your home and take residence in a nearby facility that has not only ample space for a proper ranch, but also would transfer legally into your hands should you rid that property of the current necromancer that is residing there. With this very poignant question now hanging over Navander's head, we return to his study, where the goblins await eagerly for an answer.
Evander stands there, his hands almost, his hands shaking just a little bit. Not from fear, but from just full-on wrath. Leave this place. Leave the house I built.
Morrow will say, let's talk for a moment, Navander. I have the benefit of seeing this as an outsider, and seems to me you've been presented with a sacrifice one way or the other. You can reclaim your house, ruin your reputation, and your wife comes back to the loss of her community. Or you sacrifice your house, and your wife comes back to her community